Welcome to La Vida Rosa. I'm your host Pinky, and today I will be reviewing Season 10, Episode 2 of Married at First Sight. So if you'd like to see more, then just stay tuned. Don't forget to check out my website, La Vida Rosa Style. We can find cute earrings like the ones I'm wearing. I have very eclectic things and very cute, fashionable things. So check it out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into this video. The wedding is usually my favorite episodes, is when they show the wedding. But for some reason, this episode really dragged on. I'm like, why did this episode drag on? Oh, because it's 2 hours. And because you have to fill it in with a lot of fluff to fill 2 hours. Like, I just feel like these 2-hour episodes are so unnecessary. I feel like they're trying to follow 90 Day Fiancé's lead and do 2-hour episodes and maybe do spin-offs and things like. And it's like, girl, we did not need 2 hours. And we definitely don't need a pre-show talking about it. I never watch it because you almost never get any insight from it. So what's the point? I forgot to say this when I was recording, but I just wanted to let y'all know that only Jessica and Mindy actually applied for Married at First Sight. Every single other person was recruited. And so, y'all know how I feel about being recruited. I think if you want to participate in something like this, you should definitely be the one to take the initiative to apply. People who are recruited, I just feel like will end up like Keith and Matt from last season. Which, I mean, I don't think Keith necessarily only did it for TV. He might have actually wanted to get married or thought he wanted to get married. But he even said it himself, he was not ready. And we all know what that Matt situation was. He strictly just wanted to be on TV. He saw opportunity and jumped at it. So I'm really not here for being recruited for this show. I just think that it affects the integrity of the show. But y'all let me know what you think down below. So next I'm going to talk about Jessica and Austin. To me, her dress was the prettiest out of the 3 that were shown today. I think it's a halter, and then it had like, it was kind of very lacy and had like little flowers going down. It was very pretty, very dainty. Some things she said really bothered me, like the fact that she's basically getting married because her twin got married and had a baby, so she's trying to keep up with that. And I'm just like, girl, that's not the reason. That's not a good reason to get married. And that's not a good reason to sign up for this process. Like, I feel like if you think you just need to be getting married just because you and your twin can be on the same page, I just feel like that's stupid to me. Like, you gonna jump in a whole marriage just because your sister married. The thing I find interesting about her and Austin is that she's codependent with her twin, and he seems to be codependent with his mother and his grandmother. And the only reason why I say codependent is because they title him the mama's boy. So that's kind of like what they want us to think. And it just seems like his mother's and his grandmother's approval just meant so much. Which I think our parents' approval means a lot, but it just seemed a little different for him. It was funny that right before her dad was about to walk her down the aisle, he was low-key trying to convince her not to do it. Like, he was doing it in a very, like, passive-aggressive way. But he was definitely like, you know you don't have to do this, right? I don't know if you should be doing it, but he was supportive nonetheless. I mean, he walked her down the aisle. When they actually first met each other, I thought it was really cute. They seem to have like the same sort of like quirky, offbeat type of corny personality, but I think that's good. Like, their personalities really go together. They were both making these like kind of corny jokes, and they were laughing, and it was a little awkward at some points, but I think it was the kind of awkward that they could relate to. I like the fact that in his vows he put something kind of funny in there. He was like, the moment I met you, I knew I would marry you, and it just made everybody laugh, including her. And I was like, oh, that was a nice little, you know, introduce her to your personality, make everybody laugh. That was cute. and clever. So once they made it to taking pictures and the reception, like, you could really see their chemistry. Like, they couldn't keep their lips off of each other. They were kissing each other. They were cracking jokes. They definitely have chemistry. He was really attracted to her, and she was attracted to him even though he wasn't her type. She said the more and more she talked to him, the more and more she became attracted to him. And I just feel like with women, like, we do look at looks, but I think we can be drawn in by personality. And like, the more we're attracted to your personality, the more attractive you get. So I think that's what was happening with her. They had a really cute little connection going. I'm excited to see like how their relationship goes as we move forward. Next, I'm gonna move on to Katy and Derrick. And one thing I noticed about Katy last night is she kind of looks like the young version of Lindsay Lohan, you know, like around Parent Trap age. She really looks like that Lindsay Lohan all grown up. I thought maybe it's because of her freckles, but her features kind of look like that too. Her dress looked like it came straight from Forever 21. Like, I've never seen a crop top wedding dress. She didn't look bad or anything. I just didn't personally like the dress. OMG, it warmed my heart when I saw Derrick's mother come, because based off how he said she did not agree with what he was doing. She's Catholic. She's a Brazilian Catholic woman. She's very traditional, so she did not agree with this. Even though arranged marriages are probably about as traditional as you can get since the beginning of time. People have been doing arranged marriages, but okay. She still came, and it's because she loved her son. She said she cried 2 days, but she was like, I cannot miss my son getting married. And somebody put in my comments on my last video, and they were like, you expect for people to go against their own beliefs just to be on TV. And that's not what I was saying in my video. What I was saying is, why would you not want to support your child at their first wedding, hopefully their only wedding? You don't want to see them get married. You don't want to meet the person they're going to be married to. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a very special day, regardless of whether you agree with the process they went through to find this person. I just don't understand why you wouldn't want to meet the person your child is marrying. And you really don't even have to participate too much with the show. If you notice, some parents don't really do confessionals. Some parents just be on camera only for the wedding day because they just want to be there for their child. And if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But these parents that don't show up at all, I think it's kind of like, come on, you could at least come to your child's wedding. And it was just really, it was an overall beautiful moment just to see them, because you could tell he really wasn't expecting for his mom to be there, just based off her initial reaction. I still think it was trash for Katy to go through with this wedding. She was having cold feet up until the moment that she walked down the aisle, and but she was like, she'd rather start fresh with someone new than linger on somebody old. But you are lingering on someone old. You're just moving on with your rebound husband. Like, I've never heard of a rebound husband, but this is her rebound relationship. This is what people do. This is what a lot of people do. They date someone else to get over their ex, but she's getting married to someone else to get over this ex. So I'm just like, that's kind of selfish. You definitely shouldn't be marrying somebody to get over your ex, but I'm going to try to get past it because, I mean, she went on ahead and married him. Let's see how this goes. I could be all the way wrong and out of pocket, so we'll see. So I always love it when the groom introduces himself to the family before the bride walks down the aisle, and that's what he did. When they first saw each other, they seemed to have an immediate, you know, connection. Obviously, she liked what she saw. I mean, I would have floated down that aisle if I saw Derrick sitting at the end. I'm not even gonna lie. This is the only time I'm gonna talk about looks because these people are married. But if I would have saw Derrick down at the end of that aisle, see, he looks like how Matt from last season, he thought he looked like that. Derrick is actually the one. Ever since Matt compared him to Ashton Kutcher last week, that's all I see, because I had a huge crush on Ashton Kutcher too. So maybe that's why I see it for Derrick, but I would have been the same way, Katy. And he seemed like he was attracted to her too. I love how he kept eye contact during his vows. Like, even though he was reading from a paper, he made sure to look her in her eyes the whole time. When they took their pictures, they were just all up on each other. They was kissing child at the reception. It's kind of like they fell right into like being comfortable. Had I not known this was like Married at First Sight, they looked like they had known each other already. Their chemistry was on point. She said it just feels right. We'll see. So let's move on to Taylor and Brandon. No. That's the first thing that pops up in my mind is no. You remember that lady from Get Out? No. That's the first thing that pops in my head. Because, well, let me get through these notes. There's something about him. Like, when he first came on screen, there's just something about him that leaves me unconvinced. Something about him that strikes me as sneaky. I don't know what it is, y'all. It's just something about him. I can't put my finger on it. I hate to be judgmental in that way, but you have to be in this case. Like, I realize you can't be too nice. You kind of gotta scrutinize things a little bit with this show, because I was too nice with Matt last season. I'm revealing my first impressions, my real first impressions this time around, and I just get a sneaky tea from him. Oh, she had a pretty dress. It wasn't that amazing in the front, but the back was gorgeous. I love the back of her dress. It was gorgeous. It was a showstopper in the back. It was a little bit too big, but she got it too big on purpose because she said she wanted room to eat and dance and stuff. I was just like, girl, but your top ain't even your top though. Like, your top needs to fit, regardless of if the dress is a little bit too big, you know, in the waist or whatever. That's one thing, but the top where your boobs sit, that needs to fit, because anything could just drop down. You can see your bra. You know, if you're not wearing a bra, you can see more. Like, that's gotta fit. He went out of his way to hug her family while he was standing at the altar. That was good. But when she walked down the aisle, he just was not excited enough for me. Like, he just didn't light up the way I thought he would. Maybe I was just disappointed. He just didn't look excited. She looked very excited to see him. Like, even when she made it there, she was like, oh, he's cute. And everybody was like, yeah, girl. But he just, I mean, she's beautiful. Like, I feel like if we were to match looks, they really match. Like, he's handsome, she's pretty. So I'm just like, why he ain't lighting up the way I need for him to light up? And maybe because he has a very monotone kind of personality and voice. It just seemed like his smile was forced. It didn't seem like he really wanted to smile. It looked like he knew he had to smile, so he was smiling. But she, like I said, she was very impressed with what she saw. You could tell all over her face. She was just, you know, it's like she was relieved that she was attracted to him. When he was saying his vows, his mom and his grandma really exchanged these looks that were not convinced. Like, they were really not here for his vows. I was like, how your mama and grandma gonna make that look during your vows? I'm like, there has to be something that we don't know about. They know something about him that we don't know about. He's full of it. Something is going on there, because why would your mom and grandma look at each other like that during your vows? So after the ceremony and they were talking with each other, he was just, I don't know if it was the anxiety like he was saying, or like he was hungry, because he kept mentioning he was hungry. Like, if you mention food one more time, like, did you not eat before? I don't know if it was that, or just the fact that he just didn't seem like he was attracted to her. Even she said that she felt like he wasn't interested in her. He couldn't really hold a conversation with her for too long. It was just, I don't know. He just came off like he wasn't interested in her, but he wanted to, like, spare her feelings and, like, embrace the moment. This is where I'm kind of, like, thrown off by the expert's choice. She's a scientist, but she's a bourbon spokesman, and he sells beer and is like a spokesman for beer as well. And I'm just like, I'm not saying a scientist and a beer salesman would never find each other and marry each other, but it just seems like they would, like, I know she sells bourbon as well. I know she's a spokesperson for bourbon as well, but it just seemed like that don't really go together, that don't match. I don't know, maybe it's just, maybe I shouldn't be thinking that way. Maybe I'm just having like a hypergamist attitude right now. Because if she was the one who was the beer salesman and he was the scientist, I was like, oh girl. But because it's flipped, yeah, I'm the one, it's me. Okay, let me move on. So he has a tattoo that's in memorial of a brother that he lost to gang violence when he was like very young. I think he said 8. And what struck me about that is that he didn't really want to go into detail about it. He zoomed past it. And I wonder, does he still struggle with the emotions that came with that? Like, does he need to further explore that with someone? Because the way he just zoomed past it, almost like it was nothing, that was kind of, that said a lot to me. So because of that, he's an only child and she's an only child, and yay, the only child club. People look at us as very spoiled and selfish, so hopefully they give us a good name, because people always look at only children, they look at the negative of it. Honestly, throughout that whole conversation, the only moment that he really lit up is when she said she had an Xbox. Like, that's when he was like, an Xbox? Like, I was like, that's what made you light up? When they were taking pictures, it's like visually they are a very cute couple, and the pictures, I know the pictures will come out looking cute, but they just really don't have much chemistry at all. They're very awkward. I don't know, it just don't, and I think it's mostly because of him. He just really just doesn't seem like he's that into her. When they went to the reception and they were dancing, that was even more awkward. I mean, I know he can't dance, and she asked for someone who was a good dancer. I can't believe she told him that. They were, you know, it was just like very awkward. I don't know if it's because he was shy being in front of people knowing he can't dance, but it seemed like he was more so trying to like save face for the crowd than being in the moment with her. And then the grandma came out there and really tried to embarrass him. Like, you know he can't dance and you want an up-tempo song? Like, why would you do that to him? She's still very skeptical of this whole situation. Actually, it was a beautiful moment for all the couples when their family member came up and gave a speech. But when Brandon's friend came up and gave a speech, like, he literally shed a tear, and that's literally the most emotion we've seen out of him so far when his friend gave that speech. And you know, that's cute or whatever, but I got my eye on Brandon. Because I just don't trust him. It's something I just didn't like from the very beginning, but we shall see. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think down below. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? How do you feel about Brandon? Does he give you a little sneaky tea? Did he seem like he was interested in Taylor at all? Do you think Katy should have actually went through with marrying Derrick, even though she's still stuck on somebody else? Let me know what you think down below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace.